got a hangover?
I do not, but I hope you do. Yeah, it is the Hangover Breakfast Show. My name's Steve, aka So Sick.
Call me Kazi, the princess.
The person who's never had a hangover their whole life.
Does that bite you?
No, I mean,
does it give you sleepless nights?
I mean, sometimes you need to have some experiences, in life. Yeah, like for instance, myself. I mean, I'm not a weed smoker, but I have experienced weed. Do you understand what I mean?
No, I don't.
Like I don't smoke weed, but I have experienced it.
How did you experience it again?
Like I was in a group of Van K's, and then I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Van K's? What's going on, Van K's?" And they were like, "Oh, Achan." Then I was like, "When in Rome, do what the Romans do." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I don't feel anything." And then I jumped on a bus. And everything just went crazy. Like
Okay.
I felt like when you're passing by the traffic lights, felt like we're going to be in an accident. Like the whole damn bus trip. And I remember because I think I was young. Eh? It went like from I was going on a bus from Kansenshi to town. The whole way I thought we're going to be in an accident.
Wow.
When we're passing by the traffic lights, when it was written green and we're passing, I was like, some cars just coming. It doesn't seem that it's green. We're going to die.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my.
And then you never know that it's what's happening until I got out of the car. Even when I was watching the movie, I went to watch a movie. Yeah, everything in the movie was so loud and so intense. I was like, everything that was scary was very scary. Everything that was funny was very funny. And
oh, it's so sad.
that was the last time I ever did it, because I thought I was going to lose my mind. And
So all these memes I see about weed are actually true. Like I saw a meme that somebody said that he's stopping weed because after smoking weed the previous night, him and his friends went looking for him. Like who does that? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was right there. And then I saw another meme, and this guy was saying that after smoking weed and the neighbor, their gen set was on, he danced the whole night thinking it was music playing, but it was a gen set. So that actually happens?
I don't know. I think some of them are exaggerated. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. I'm talking about my own experiences.
Okay.
And there's laughter. I can laugh at nothing.
Okay.
I laughed at nothing. Like somebody would say something and then you'd think about it for a while. Then you would laugh at nothing, and then you'd laugh for like 30 minutes non-stop.
And then imagine a person like me who's constantly laughing.
You need to take a deep breath of some herb one day.
Oh, no.
Just for the experience.
No, man.
Yeah.
Let's pass on the herb.
I've
I've told you. There are things I cannot do.
Really? Yeah. When I was growing up, my mom hated ifyamba. Like ifyamba was, I think my mom and weed, it was bad. I had an uncle who the kid brother, used to come from like the village, right? So he was staying with us at one point. So this brother used to wake up early in the morning. Like, you know how it is when you are like that uncle. Wake up early in the morning. Yeah. And I was
At
like,
least he was busy.
I was asking,
Being productive.
but this was the brother, man. It's like, why is he waking up so damn early all the time? So one day, my mom found out why. While he was weeping and doing all this, kanshi 04 ka. And that's how they parted ways. That's how the guy never, stayed with us ever again.
Wow.
Because she was scared that he was going to let us start smoking weed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah, I be Panoko people.
Wow.
Van K, good morning.
Hey, morning, big man zona. Very.
Very, very, my brother. How you doing today?
Laka zona.
Kai muka Friday karishat.
Kesa mabwana.
Ka Friday karishat.
Ka Friday ka yesterday. Kariko sido, kariko body ni.
Tapari ko mwaide, tapari ko muya.
Kama ino okay. Kuranda fatifima wakisfaisa tukonka sana manje. Kwa hivyo kubaza paka day kwera.
Nokuyave mukulala.
Sa festa pakushira ku festa time kama ino mukamba so sick para na padya. Karibu wangu.
Oh, for real. Oh, somebody has sent me to ask you questions. Okay, now we'll ask questions late. So today we're talking to Van K. At so do you think that abantu abashakwata empia bali kwata obunangani?
Abashakwata empia.
You need to answer responsibly because you could be representing.
Imagine zona.
Abashakwata empia oshobali kwata obunangani.
Abashakwata empia. Kozi ngatawa kwata empia. Ero kubo kwata chira chi vibe chira.
Chakubombesha
kubombesha make sure so that starter yambo kwangalira manje muground.
Do you think that abafyashu for baba ebadenga abana baba for body? Like for instance umfyashinga ngamuna ngani nayo wala for mnangani?
Yo yakani ke umfyashinga munangani bana pada ufire wapa monata okay but umfyashu wanza panoda kala kan feeling ena chitafira fyonse manje for that tapo manje.
Because then I've seen like rich kids, yeah, like really rich kids, they're so lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
but because their parents are so hardworking, right?
Yeah, because they've worked for everything that they would want to work for.
So you find it very, you're not interested. Like I want to fight. Oh, you know, when I grow up, I want to buy a car. You had a car when you were 16 years old, yeah. Just
have fun with whatever it is that your parents have worked for on your behalf. Enjoy their sweat.
So what happens when they're gone?
That's when you can take over.
Isn't it too late?
No.
No, I've seen.
You're continuing the legacy.
Of what?
Of what they left. They left behind.
You know, Zambian parents, Zambian parents, they don't teach their children how they made money.
Yeah, true. We could agree on that.
Quite like I always say, like vamwenye varasambisha abana babo ati pangine maafso. Like and then quite Somalians as well. Somalians, no matter what you say about them, they have a very deep family connection.
Yeah.
They know what to mwana alabu kazirosha nalaya first kushop or numbaya kuskuru. You know what I mean? Things like that. So they also encounter. But Zambian parents, you know, for it now panga maafta I think
for some parents it comes from a place where they're coming from extreme poverty and then they manage somehow to climb the ladder of success.
So they don't want their children to go through what they went through.
Yes.
So they don't teach their children anything.
They think that by shielding their children from working, they're actually protecting them from going through what they went through to get to where they are. So they just want to give their kids the best of what they have to offer.
Education for chapo. Yeah, that's what they care about. But they don't care about the business.
Yeah.
So if Van K has a business, money wise, somewhere else. Soft life. Oh, number one for what? Oh, number one sangati. Abana buy some business. They'll be there. They'll find the money. Life will be easy. They'll enjoy the money until they know that until the money is done.
Yeah, and it runs out quickly.
It runs out quick because you haven't worked for it. You don't even know how to make
it. How to manage it? Yeah. True.
So Bunangani, what about different? It has different places.
Different levels.
Yes.
Yes. Drafts pakabokoza ka boom kalaka kunsa ka paper bashira not doing anything responsible, nothing constructive. Yeah,
ukula is 21 hours now.
Shadi sangwira chadi. Kulabo kurubana ida style.
Yeah.
Ngako ntoka badi bakamu. Washwana pa na pa mbire so sta washwana gwino so bana.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy that especially in Mundola wengi abashaishi bafyash fuvade pangindala. Especially that Ndola was based on not really like business people, but it was based on like people who had jobs and worked for good companies. Yeah. Once somebody bomba, abomba ku rope, you abomba ku Unilever, you abomba ku shine. Fiash won't survive, but they were not businessmen. They were people who had money because they worked for a company.
Yeah, companies which actually made sense. Not if you're is a
yeah, jiri businesses.
Yeah, shala.
Wanapanga ma jiri kuna industrial area.
Big time for pay for the maboss fena mana nikano tuma high suit manje tubarepanga big time
ku industrial area.
Industrial age ma company finga pano mfima garage fe in short.
Yeah.
Mfima garage fe no la kala.
Yeah. You'd pass there because when I was young, when you go to the industrial area, it was so busy. Pack to wing it pageti, also the security that you had to go through. Number when you go to industrial area, fima moto cafe, not jiri.
That's kali kuna rege banogiba kuna gebere sana
ku jiri. What if you no kufino?
To what if no big man tasapiro go speaksha ga irimanje yakwevata. So mramune mu branch papeno mu branch. Emwa kunina pechari mu but kuzeta fata monita firingira mbona.
Okay. All right. I didn't know that. All right. So speaking about jiri twinning. Like how much is it to jiri? Like let's say if I have 20 kwacha, can I get drunk in 20 kwacha?
20 kwacha etu alisango toma 10 futte tukalina sana.
Toma 10.
Lakini tu achipe tukalina sana.
Okay, so
akaba kufeel like fenika sundown at least na boss then the Leicester and all that kala.
Okay. All right. One for the guys. What's some today?
The things that you teach me on this show.
You have to learn these things, man. I mean, because obviously you've had a boyfriend who had to jiri. But ach mafia hapa peni nobody ni. 2 hours ago. Awera shanako.
Yachin.
Actually, she 50 kwacha for one fish.
Kuma yads kulo kuna chilanda poi area and the blow.
Te umikala ku George nayo.
Ine?
Te ku George kule. When you just cross the damn road, Niku George. You know when I cross the damn road.
Oh my word.
The Mosha dollar here.
We can akusakanya. Are we even going to play this game?
Yeah, we can play this damn game if you want to. But it's cool. It's cool though. I mean, to each his own, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to each his own. So imagine like last weekend I was complaining that I didn't drink because I had 800 kwacha. So there was somebody who was saying, but mupo hey, Zari will say. But I was thinking there's different levels to life, I guess.
And you're gonna downgrade me to a 20 kwacha level?
When I was younger I would spend less. When you're older you spend more. Yeah.
Correct. We can safely establish that.
So let's talk about another thing that I want to find out about. This is something that I also find it dear to my heart. Umwaume mwana kashinga kutumina phone at mwana kashwika laeka. Like she stays by herself. Ngawaya kulala kumwana kashi. Kulala la menso now isala yonse. Now it's not dream fiance or kulala na one eye open. Uyikalira mwana kashi.
Mwana kashi uyikalira yali babadi bachikulire. Oza isa mungu chitika sometimes isa mukupena tetu shwe mpigayo wakwenga ngala isa ngataise. So manje kulala fe ngomukomani.
So Ndekazi, that's like a really good question. Like when women live by themselves, do they pay their own rent? I mean, from your experience, from what you've heard from your friends, do they pay their own rent or somebody else pays for their rent?
From what I've heard from people, and these are not my friends, like I said, there is a type of people I can be friends with. It's not people who go whoring around. Okay?
No.
Yes.
When somebody's paying your rent doesn't mean you're home around.
You are, most likely.
How?
Most likely.
How?
Not all cases, no, but most likely. From what I've heard from a lot of these stories, a lot of women who cannot afford to pay their own rent, but decide, okay, I'm going to leave my father's house where I lived rent-free, and then they go and start renting a house which is being paid for by somebody. There is always strings attached somewhere, somehow.
Obviously, I'm not paying your rent. I'm not if I'm not going to be sleeping there.
Exactly. So there is always strings attached. So if you find a woman who lives on her own, but she cannot afford her own rent, that in itself is a red flag.
So as a man, Van K and I, how do we know that she can't afford? Okay. So obviously, if you go to a house, if the house is too nice, then she can't afford?
No.
Or when it's what sort of standard are you talking about here?
Honestly, it's not even. I think like you're saying, there are times when you can't tell by looking. Sometimes you need to sit down and hear stories from people, maybe from the horse's mouth if you're that lucky. But it's not always that you're going to tell that Sandra has her rent paid for her by David, who's a married man from Lusaka.
So I've got a story.
Uh-huh.
So there's a friend of mine
Okay.
who I knew long time ago.
Okay.
And he told me that...
Your story would determine whether your friend is from the ghetto or...
No, he's not.
Okay.
So he said that he had been talking to this lady.
Okay.
And this lady was always insisting that she lives alone.
Okay.
So one day he said, you know what? Okay. She was listening. I know, come we cook, things like that. Or I'll cook for you. So that's how this brother decided to go and eat with the same lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At her place.
Yeah. So she cooked. They cooked. And they even started watching a movie after cooking. So while watching the movie, obviously he ate her. He ate her while watching the movie. Ate. So he was like, you know what? I'm a single guy. Why do I even have to go home? I can just sleep here. Because, this is a woman. She invited me to her house and we've had a good time as grown-ups and everything. She lives by herself. So that's how this woman now starts pacing around the house, yeah? Like, ayokuku. She's on the phone, she's texting, she's watched. All these things started happening where she looked uncomfortable now that he was there. Like he had planned to stay the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she confessed, like she just bowed her head and says, you know what, I have to tell you something. I've got a boyfriend. And all right, and I'm not quite finished. So please, can you leave?
And the boyfriend had reason to doubt her. Good reason.
So that's how this guy left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he felt very. And then you leave. So he felt uncomfortable, but he kept on the conversation with the same lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then she invited him again. So this time he was like, you know what, he knew that he couldn't sleep over. So he went there and they cooked, started watching things. So then all of a sudden she's on the phone again, but I think she had forgotten what she had said about the other person. Then she says, I've got a boyfriend who lives out of town, but he pays my rent, and he just said that he's reached Masait. What's his the toll gate, Masangano. After Masangano, that's where he's reached. So you need to leave. So women who live by themselves, he said, never trust a woman who lives by herself, because even if she can pay rent, she'll find somebody else who will pay the rent, so her life is easier. Even if she can buy food, she'll find someone who can buy food for her. Even if she can afford all these things, she'd rather other people pay for it while she has her money to herself.
And what price does she pay for them paying for those things? You see? And this is the reason why I feel that you have to be... I've heard...
You've lived by yourself before?
Yes, I have.
So? Are you...
Am I?
Who was paying for your rent?
I was paying for my own rent.
Okay.
I've always been that woman who says you need to make your own money. If worse gets to worst, I can call my dad and he can bail me out.
Did you have men sleeping over?
No.
Did men want to sleep over?
Of course.
What were they saying before they sleep over?
Same thing you keep saying to women when you sleep over at their place.
Which is what?
Which is what you say.
Me?
Yes. It's the game, the rules of the game don't change. The players change, but the game remains the same. What they said to me, what you've said to women, what Oliver has said, what Van K has said to women, is what all men say to women when they want to sleep.
What were they saying to you?
Sorry?
What were they saying to you?
Like I said, it's what all of you guys here and
guy
every
over
other
there
guy listening has said to a woman when he wants to sleep at her place. But then it brings us to how a person is brought up, the kind of morals that were imparted in this particular woman. And this is why and the like abakalamba balalanda ati umwana kashuyikalira most of the time chirashupa one ukupwa because aba umebali kwa takalaka perception ati mwana kashingala yikadira ninshala chitefyo fino bule na ngpali befya chitana ngpali baba msonkelera pali baba bafya kulya baba marentoza baba mabuzi ya so they always have that perception, so it sort of casts a dark shadow on you if you're a single woman living by yourself. That's why in most cases men prefer to be with a woman o alef mi afi panganda pa afyashi bakwe amsenda ero amleta panganda pa mwakwe not mwana kashwa kwa watade yikadira
adenuka bwangu.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that. It's a crazy world, and it is what it is. We can't run away from it.
So Van K, what would you like? Mwana kashu wikara na afyashi o mwana kashu yikarira?
Wikara na afyashi ni mbama bachikulira. Aba yikarira. Defin.
Pateba kwata na mafumu. Pantikainga wa musenda kakene ka period orumba wala monfya bad.
Yeah, be food.
But we carry. Why mupata we carry na kwa tefumu. No, they have time. They have leisure. They have time. Like, oh, there are the condoms there. We have a lot of time. Let's go get those condoms. But when you get someone from their house, you know that their mom's going to start calling at 18 hours. You forgot to buy the condom.
You've raised a valid point. You've raised a very valid point, but that does not erase the fact that even single women who live by themselves still get pregnant out of wedlock.
Not as fast as people who live with their parents.
Yes, we can agree on that, actually. We can agree on that.
Because
Yeah.
Anyway, give us a call, 0212617140, the Hangover Breakfast Show. Women who live by themselves, are they a problem? Because, I know when men live by themselves, they're a problem.
They are.
Mommy, wikareka. It's a good life. It's good life. Na landlord ngabeka na babe na bamona fyo mwana kashu akachero ubushiku urushani ebaza no kuzala nga girlfriend wa china isati but bachidamo.
And I think we need to sit down and reflect deeply, especially I'm putting this from a Christian nation perspective. The level of moral decay in our country is just skyrocketing. People do, like you've said, this is a friend of yours who goes to a girl's place. She invites him over. This is a girl who has a boyfriend, and then the boyfriend is not even the one who pays her rent. It's somebody else who lives in another town who pays her rent. This could possibly be a married man. We don't know. And then there is now your friend. This is three men with one woman.
Jawanda, guys, who's morally upright? Is it like, for instance, about me? Yeah, mnatweba tulimbwa uyo nimbwa alaleta bagiro abengi panganda yako alavosa imbwa but I repeated the rent I repeated fya kudia I repeated fiance and then kwaliba mwana kashina yena nimbwa but ina tai repeated the rent that pray for but alaleta ba mi fya fin.
That point that you raised about
who's morally upright?
The point that you raised about the guy, your friend, after he was chased out to the girl's house, he had allowed himself to be used. That's not the girl's problem. That's his problem. He allowed her to use him.
He didn't know.
Whether it was unknowingly or knowingly, fact is, at the end of the day, he was used by her. And then, the next time he went to her place, he knew that she had a boyfriend. He also knew that she had an out-of-town boyfriend. This was knowingly.
Next time, then the second time he went at, that's it. Let me revenge.
Oh, please.
Now let me use her instead of being used.
How did he use her this time around?
Jushkotai.
No, man. It was Jushkotai even the first time, wasn't it?
No, but it was Jushkotai looking for a relationship. The next one was just Jushkotai.
Oh, my word, Steve.
Let's get a call. 0212617140. We've got Van K in the building on the Hangover Breakfast Show. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen, the cousin Van K.
Hi, good morning. Who's calling?
Sorry?
Who's calling?
Stanley Mwamba from Luansha.
Oh, good Luansha.
Number Vashtashen.
Vashtashen, what if me go gate pa Luansha na di dabwa ine? Na offense.
Obali sesha gate.
If me apo gate ai.
Mwale tika sana. Tuwasara kufena fence.
I go have a fence no, but get wife me up. Vashtashen, mwana kashu uyikalira no mwa uyikalira. Nani uchita po usenshi?
Watu mwana kashu uyikalira ya dipitirira.
Aipitirira.
Right.
mama uyikadira nishitakwate inisive yakwayo soka time kakuchitoto aukuva kuti twaliche panombo mwana kashi uyikadira nga talebomba nokubomba ni problem sivu kwava vamatuwa wazoko
vapa lunch time
vapa lunch ni vambi after lunch ni vambi yari kavasi abengi baranati ati nshira upwanchiri nde so trashiro kuba chitajaji ubareka vata kuba jajanga baupwa nangunga baupa
ola ngunga bafwa
nangunga bafwa
all right so imwe bashitasheni tetu mwende nomana kashuyi kadira
kwenda kumwana kabiri ofwa kula each tamata ni moro nawe mwine umofo yaba Steve at the end of the day. Kwa abana kashaba responsible like in the guys of wachirani are yikadira but takwadi wari yako tripo
takumanyisha mwana waba convincing
baba convincing ai nangu ampa mina ngayo Steve
ine namshovo ningachita kuri ndekazi kuya namtandalira twaipika unamweta baby I gotta go I can't you know you're too beautiful I gotta go I'm out why first day why piam the next day again why you know mwaipika mwatamba kwa movie mwachako kado mwamkissing yako yali ni wamroka tifinfi atamba no baby I gotta go I can't do this cha next weekend no baby let's go to church mtaka ku church mnabwina mchurch wadi Jesus and then mwakunganda mwapika lunch baby I can't do this and then one day akabuka fendi kazeti nawishwa ulikwisa ndiri kunganda so since wadi ba muntu waba mamoro so tetu isapa mkulala I just feel lonely today ndefa feel mama wagwika tafe before to alachita okay nice nobody na rafika pa gate pa de songra no kusongra vamda ndekazi twarara mbeji ndekazi babika na kakuru utapale vwala chita Steve boom
ajara tonse Steve
tapale vwa okay
yazanda game
akachere misana shide karipa
ile kave 01 atutiro twaya
tude twaya wadavya tatuire mukoro yari la
era Steve walira pose mbedi no mwana kashi ero wambo kuicha wemwa motoro tatumonekero de chaira taulala bwini waposo kurugu kanshule fuwa fyapa kwambi
it's
so sick
washasheni tuatashamkwae
crazy people
okay Steve
look at you these are the conversations that you sit and have at the bar.
This is what men talk about, man. This is how men plan how they're going to conquer a woman.
Really?
I'm just telling you that not everyone is a saint.
I know that.
Yeah,
I know that.
And some people want to look like saints so that they can penetrate.
And this, I think this is one of the conversations that we need to have. I read an article about a man who was raising awareness about women who usually take the blame, like, but how could she be with a guy like him? How could she allow him to do that? There are men who are so manipulative to a point where the first few weeks, first few months, he's going to be an angel. Like, he will treat you so right, so well, and you think, okay, this is the guy.
This is the guy.
Yeah. And then once you give in, he shows you his true colors. So half of the time, women will be blamed, like, but how could she have been such a fool?
But one thing you need to understand, men are hunters. We are, you are the prey, we are the predator. In Enkala Munayena, it knows what to do. Garishta attack ichibutuka sana. Yala palama kopa no olo nomba ipepeki. Gara kumani ichibutuka sana. Yala vepa peni changa sheko chabutuka yawe sa you know.
Yeah.
It will play with it until it gets tired, and then that's what men are. We are predators. When we're getting prey, we have to understand the prey. So now we're in a work church here. There's strategies to get a church girl like you. Very easy.
I know. I mean, even the Bible says we're not ignorant of their devices. I'm not a child.
Because even women who are not church girls and who are, lack of a better term, seemingly loose, you just have to tell them they're beautiful.
Yeah,
and that you want to marry them.
That's one of the tricks in the book.
Bagero. Tibafafe yaba gangster ida inikuda fore mu pano.
Oh, pano.
Kaidi bakuzembere kafe paneso hapo. Pano re muingira mupaka akontoro mukoshparas.
Mafanike nzibe. Tamantu miniko phone my
nje bambo kupampa mumanje bambo kupamona.
Injection fellas. Text message line is 0769122851. Let's play another Van K song. What song are we playing next?
Apani Captain Sodu. Twala penya finger Captain Sodu.
Could you have a puisha pa question we ban?
Get that after the song.
Very bad.